What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to High School Never Ends, a pop punk dad podcast. I am Wingman Steve.
And this is Chris 183.
Chris 183, you are introing our month and our episode. Go for it.
Let's do it. So, guys, I know you're excited. I know that you want to know what we're doing. Well, let me tell you, without further ado, Steve and I decided to unplug the electricity this month. We took the plug out. We took away the drumsticks and replaced them with those drumsticks that have the feathers on them.
Mm-hmm. You're a fan of those?
Yes. You know where I saw those was Nirvana Unplugged. That's where I remember those from. But we did all that because, ladies and gentlemen, it is April. It is April. We love to do some. We love to have fun names. So we decided, because it's April, what a better time to do acoustic albums than in April. Why? Because, Steve, it's Acoustic April.
Album April Acoustic. Yes. It works out really well.
I just didn't want to say the word alliteration. So did I do a good job?
Well, you just said it. So no, you failed. Out
of context. But that's what we're going to do. We're going to do Acoustic April. We're going to talk about acoustic albums that we may very well have talked about on this show. And today we're going to go back to a goodie. An oldie but a goodie, one that we've celebrated many, many times on this show. I think we only really went through it song by song once, but
I don't think we ever did. We never did.
We never did the original?
No. We never have done an album spotlight on Ocean Avenue. No.
Oh my God. Well, there it is. Out of the bag, cat's out of the bag. We're going to talk about Ocean Avenue, but not just Ocean Avenue. We're going to talk about Ocean Avenue Acoustic, where the guys in Yellowcard, fresh off of those Washington Apple shots, decided to do the same album, but just with acoustic guitars and no electricity. So, Steve, I think there's one more thing that we did different for this episode, and why don't you tell everybody what that is?
I don't know what we did different for this episode.
We have a special guest.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Compared to the last episode. Let's talk about some friends. First off, let's talk about our friends over on Patreon, our subscribers. Welcome new friends, Steve Kelly. We also have Steve C, Nick, Chris W, Sam, Jason, Ashley, Tom, Jeff, Punk Rock Mom, Punkish Dad's friend, and Chris P. And we also have a very good friend of the show, a good friend of mine since third grade. We have seen Yellowcard together many a times. He's the High School Never Ends family doctor. So if you have any discomfort and your something lasts more than 4 hours, you can always call on Dr. Bernie or Kevin. What's up, my buddy?
How's it going, Steve? How you doing, Chris?
What's up? We're happy to have you back. You have solidified yourself as one of the foremost critics on music for this show, but also one of the best judges of all time when we would do our drafts. So you have that in the bag. You got that title.
Well, I did not know that, but now that you have mentioned it, it makes sense. I could see why.
And it made sense to invite you on here to give Chris and the rest of the audience a little bit of history on. Let's talk about Yellowcard, and let's talk about Bernie and I and where we've been with this band. We've been fans, both of us, from about the same time. We went to elementary school together. We were college roommates. We have known each other for all of those years. And I know that I have seen Yellowcard about 20 times. I've seen them at Warped Tour. I've seen them do acoustic shows. I've seen Ryan Key by himself in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Maryland. I've seen him as an opener, a headliner at clubs, at colleges, at arenas. And I would say, Bernie, you've probably been to about half of those with me, maybe more. We used to travel many, many miles to see this band across many, many years. So that's a long way of saying we are big freaking Yellowcard fans. Did I miss anything out of that?
I mean, we did cruise down the highway on our way to Rockstar Land many a time. Yes. I think IUP times two.
IUP times two, Williamsport, Pennsylvania.
Williamsport. Yeah, we went there. Many a show around the State College to New Jersey region. Did we see them in New York? I forget.
So I have my list. Here's the thing is that sometimes I forget who was at what show. But oh yeah, So one of the other reasons why it makes sense to invite you to talk about Ocean Avenue Acoustic is that one of my favorite shows of all time was March 15th, 2008. We saw them. They did a full acoustic tour in New York City, and we were, I guess we were a few years of being 21, but we were still very young. So this was, one of those shows where we got to imbibe a bit, and it turned into an entire crowd sing along, and it was so much fun.
It was incredible. I remember that. Definitely a core memory. I was in grad school at the time in Philly, made the drive up or train or however I got there. I got there and met up with you guys, and we were upstairs and just looking down at the stage and just singing along. It was just awesome, especially several years after we first started really seeing them at all these different shows. So that was an amazing show. I saw them acoustic 2 years ago. They did an opening act where you could get like a VIP package here in Virginia Beach. So that was awesome. They played Gifts and Curses, Empty Apartment, MSK, Lift a Sail. Like, it was really cool little set list they put together for a little private gathering. So that was awesome. And just listening to them acoustic really brings out how far they've come as a band, especially Ryan, how far he's come as a vocalist. So really cool to be able to see them in person here at that type of venue, that type of setup. And then them actually coming to Virginia Beach to play shows was awesome timing, just getting situated here in the area. Really cool. And I'm hopeful that one of those last bands they announced for Warped Tour Orlando happens to be Yellowcard. If you look alphabetically on the list of bands, it does alphabetically pan out for them. Blacked out. There is room for them. So I am actually going to be in Orlando for a conference, a medical conference, the week leading up to that day. So I might have to extend my vacation or trip a little bit.
Nice. And I don't want to hog all the Yellowcard nostalgia. Chris, you've seen this band live a handful of times as well.
Have I?
Didn't you see them at Four Chord the one year?
No, dude.
Or that was the year that it was Tornado?
Yeah, I didn't want to make a big deal about that again because I've complained about that probably like 27 times. Have
you seen them live?
I don't think I have. I was thinking about that while you were talking about all those times. And by the way, I guess one would ask, like, doesn't it? Okay, let me answer my own question before you answer it. Doesn't it get boring to see the same act over and over and over again? So I think before you answer that, yes, I know that over the years, obviously they have new music, so that's different and that's cool. Also, you're talking about timing that was during college era and maybe even shortly after, where it didn't really matter if you saw the same act over and over again. At that point in time, you can make anything fun. It didn't matter. So that's music you wanted to hear anyway. Even if it was the same songs over and over again, you're still having a blast. I know that because I saw Taking Back Sunday probably 12 times. And I'm not really even like, I don't love Taking Back Sunday. Like, I think they're fine, but I ended up seeing them that many times because I just wanted to go out and party and have a good time. So that probably answered my own question. Do you feel like I hit the mark, or was there something else?
No, I think you hit most of the marks. Like, listen, it's not like you're going there once a month. If it's once a year and it's one of your favorite bands, like Yellowcard has always been a top 3 favorite band of all time for me. And if they're coming year over year, usually there's something new, an acoustic tour like that one, or a new record, or they haven't been around for a while, or they're doing an album. I mean, nowadays they do an album in its entirety. So I don't think it gets old. The same way if Weezer happened to come around, every single year, if they came around every single year, you'd probably be totally fine going to see each show.
It's too soon. It's too soon, and it's a sore subject.
All right. We don't have to talk about Weezer, but
you don't want me to talk about it? Because I'll talk about it.
You seemed like you wanted to move on completely. So if you want to talk about it, you told me not to.
I'm bummed out. Okay. Like, I really wanted to see. There's just no one would go with me. I couldn't find anyone.
Give everybody the context. They don't know our text messages.
Okay. Well, I don't know I don't remember our text messages, but Weezer's having a concert. They put out the tour dates. I went to the couple buddies that I thought would want to go. Oh, I can't go. It's a Tuesday. Oh, I can't go. And look, I'm not going to, they probably listen to this show. So it's like, whatever. Like, I'm not trying to be negative, but
shit on them.
At the end of the day, no one would go. No one would go any day. And I'm not going to tell you like any of the other context, but what I will say is that I'm not going now. And I missed the
Aw.
date and I am not getting tickets. I wasn't going to drive 3 hours, to go solo to a concert. That would not be within something that I would want to do. And
Aw.
either way, I would have had to have driven to either Columbus, Detroit, DC, or Philly. And I don't even know if Philly was on there. Maybe not. Maybe it was just DC. And
Philly's on there, but it's not
Okay.
a good day of the week.
Yeah, like they did Mondays and Tuesdays. Like the only day that was a Friday was DC, and that was perfect. And I would have driven there. That's not too bad. But of course, there's I'm not even going to say what it was that stopped us from going. So in any case, I'm not going to Weezer, and I'm really bummed out. This is why I don't sound the same, Steve. Did you notice? I'm kind of down in the dumps.
I was hoping to just perk you up and bring you up with this conversation.
Well, I think it can maybe by the end, but right now I'm just not the same.
All right. Well, feel better, my friend. Maybe
Cheer up, emo
something.
kid.
Yeah, cheer up, emo kid. Maybe something will change. I wanted to ask. So I actually pulled the set list from that acoustic set, that show back in 2008. Do you remember anything? Did you look it up, Bernie?
I didn't look it up, but I knew you would, so that's why I didn't look it up.
Do you any idea the types of songs that they played at this show?
2008. So they're at least. So they definitely
Paper
played.
Walls had just come out.
They played Cigarette. I'm pretty sure. I want to say. Well, Paper Walls just came out. They might have played like 2 or 3 songs from that, max, maybe 1. But
listen to this. They opened the show with Rough Draft, then into
man.
Fighting, View from Heaven, Rockstar Land, Lights and Sounds, Way Away, Believe, Keeper, Light Up the Sky, Dear Bobby, which I don't know if they've ever played again, Sure Shot, Cigarette, Avondale, Fake closed the show with only 1, came back and did October Nights in Ocean Avenue. So there was
so good.
So much one for the kids that we will never, ever hear again. And we did not have cellular phone cameras to record it. So it'll just have to live in our hungover brains.
Hey, and it's still a core memory. And man, that's such a solid set list. I was looking up old YouTube videos of them playing acoustic stuff, and just crazy how long it's been that we've been following this band, like how young they were, how young we were. It's just crazy.
Yeah. We're all old farts. Even this record is now, this acoustic version of the record is now 13 years old. It came out August 13th, 2013 on Hopeless Records.
Birthday. That's my birthday.
This came out on your happy birthday. You got
Thanks.
You got a acoustic record by Yellowcard.
Isn't that nice of Ryan
That's
to
so
do
sweet.
that?
He knew. It was produced by Ryan and Eric Talaba. This was the last recorded material with their drummer, LP3, as we call him.
One of the top guys that play the kid.
Very
He's
good.
So good.
And he had a really cool look to him with the dreads and everything like that. He did not get a Washington Apple shot there, Chris.
One of my favorite drummers.
There for that.
Want one or you didn't? Why didn't he get one?
He must not have been up there at the right time. Or I didn't see him. I don't know. I would not have excluded him. That's for sure. I don't go only for the lead singer and violinist. I'm not like, what do they call that? Like a star fucker. Or I don't know. Maybe I am. Maybe I did exclude him. I don't know. But maybe I'll owe him one.
Owe him one next time you see him. Just give him a couple.
I probably won't see him, but that's okay. The album charted to number 53 on the Billboard 200. It got to number 11 on the rock charts. It got to number 11 on the independent albums chart and number 7 on the alternative albums chart. So this was a commercial release that did fairly well. And Chris, we started off Acoustic April with The Other Avenue that came out in the same year, Page Avenue, which was a complete reimagining of the material. But we get something a little bit not that with this record. Would you agree with that?
Oh, 1,000%. This is not, they didn't reimagine very much here. They basically they took the exact same song in maybe there's one song on here that's different in that way, but they basically took the same song and just stripped out the electric guitar.
Took out the plugs.
Some different arrangements. Like I don't want to be too general with that statement, because I think there was some of that, but but for the most part, that's what you're going to hear if you turn this on. So, and look, I mean, I don't know if there's anything wrong with that. I mean, I think that just doing that alone definitely gives these songs a different vibe. It definitely makes them sound differently, obviously. And I think obviously you think about acoustic, you think about a little bit more mellow, you think about, more emotional. We talked about that in the last episode. I think you get a little bit of that here. So I think it just depends on the song.
Absolutely. Bernie, you're a fan of acoustic music. I know that you're a sucker for anything acoustic.
I'm a sucker for anything acoustic. And going back to the whole drums thing, they're called brushes. As a percussionist, they're not little feathery things, but I appreciate that you did recognize that there is a difference in the type of instrument tool that they use on the kit. So they are brushes. I love hearing them. I love playing with them. It's just a different sound, a different feel and vibe when you get behind the kit and play with brushes. When you play with any type of dampening device for the kit. So I appreciate acoustic. You can do a lot of various things that you won't get with original arrangements. We'll get obviously song by song and why I like or don't like. I always listen to drums first just because I'm used to that approach just as a drummer. So I have a lot of critiques when it comes to how one of my favorite drummers of all time in pop punk approached his arrangements throughout the entire album. So, yeah.
Would you be offended if Chris continues to call them feathery things?
You notice the difference. So that's even a huge thing to even call out because not many
Chris, I got your back.
Actually,
you want to stick with your terminology. It's okay.
Not many people actually pay attention to the drummer. So I appreciate that. You noticed, right? Not many people notice the drummer. I get that.
I saw it when Dave Grohl pulled those things out. I saw them right away.
Away. That's such a classic set too. That Nirvana Unplugged set. Really, really like bringing it back.
Talk about acoustic. There you go, right?
We might have to reimagine our list of albums for this month. But anyways, let's get into Ocean Avenue Acoustic. You guys ready to do this?
Born ready, Steve.
He's born ready. Why don't we be polite and give our guest the first crack at it? First track is Way Away. Bernie, what do you think of this version and the song? If you want to, again, we didn't do a full album spotlight on Ocean Avenue, so I guess if we have just thoughts on the song in general, we can feel free to share them too.
So this is like a solid opener on its original form, right? The original album, like solid opener. When you start Ocean Avenue, you hear Way Away, you're like pumped, right? They had an opportunity to start this album differently, right? They had a chance to kind of set the tone, set the vibe in a different way. And I didn't get that. It sounded good. It wasn't much different from the original. They, again, had the opportunity to be creative, but I don't feel like they were creative at all. The bridge in it didn't need drums at all. They had opportunities to at least let the song breathe a little bit and incorporate maybe some other instrumental stuff, but they did not do that. That was not their intent, and they stuck with a good formula. It's a good opening track to Ocean Avenue. It's a good opening track to this album. I just thought they had a missed opportunity to set the tone.
Yeah, I guess the first thing I'll mention, especially coming off last week, and Chrissy said it already, is this album is a true acoustic version of the original. It's not a reimagining for the most part. When it comes to Way Away, the intro guitar line and the band introduction, I feel like it's just as impactful as the original. You do get a better sense, I think, of Ryan's like vocal abilities on this acoustic version. I thought that the violin shines really well in these versions and on this track as well. The violin in the back of the chorus, I feel like is much more noticeable in this version than the original. I did get a hint that maybe there were some harmonies added, which sounded really good. And the song in general is just a staple, man. You remember Sean Mackin used to do a backflip during it. This was very, very often a set opener for them. And it's just a kick-ass song. So I like this version, but it wasn't like starkly different.
When he did the backflip, did he have the violin in his hand?
Yeah.
So how do you, I guess?
Well, he would be positioned on top of an amp. So he'd just be standing and he would just jump, do a backflip, and then land on the floor.
It wasn't like a standing backflip, like
no,
from the floor.
He was elevated a little bit. Yeah.
Got it. Because that'd been tougher.
I don't doubt that he could do that. I don't think he does it anymore. We're all old men now.
Could you do it with the violin?
I couldn't do a backflip without a violin. I couldn't do a backflip if you were trying to hoist me.
Which way?
They do it. What does my daughter say when she's doing that for dance? Spotting them or something like that.
If you gave me like one of your feet and I would flip you up, I think the momentum would carry you over.
I think that I would break my neck.
And this is why I have job security.
Yes, it's true.
If I pushed hard enough, I think you'd be all right. Next time you're around, we'll give it a shot. The way I'm going to think through this is if I were at let's imagine like a bar at the beach and they have music on in the background, you're listening, and this song came on, any of these songs, I'm really going to judge this on what I think to myself, wow, like what is that version of this song? Like that's how I'm going to judge that, because the reason is because you've had a number of beers, so you're a little bit, a little bit fuzzy, but you're still listening. Actually, some may say that after a number of beers, some of the senses do sharpen. Maybe hearing is one of them, but also I tend to enjoy music more after a couple drinks. So in that case, like I'm thinking about it that way. Now with this song, I think that you've said it. Like it's such a good song anyway. And they didn't deviate too far from it. Would I know the difference if I heard it in that scenario? I don't think so. I think I would probably just not maybe notice that it was an acoustic version.
You thought that the volume was low.
It's that close. Like it's that close to the original. But, now just listening to it here, you definitely can hear it. You definitely know. Again, I'm good with both. I think that this melody itself kind of carries this one through. I think it sounds great acoustic. I love the sound here, and it's super safe. It's straightforward, but sometimes again with some of these songs like Way Away, I'm okay with that. If they would have completely reimagined this, we might be saying, why did they do that? Like that wasn't the best way, because now I'm not sure I really like that song. So you'll never know that. You'll never know that to be the case. But I think in this case, I'm okay with what they did.
All right, you want to keep going with breathing, or should I go?
I'll go here. So breathing, I think with this song, they definitely keep the tempo similar. I do prefer the higher octane version of this song. So the regular version over the acoustic is what I prefer. But there's I think the song still gives you pretty much what you want out of what the acoustic version of Breathing is. So the only other difference that I noted was that it seems like the violin is even more a centerpiece of the song versus what you heard in the original. It was definitely prevalent, but I think maybe even more with the acoustic guitar versus the electric. You could hear it and it definitely stands out. So is that a good or bad thing? I don't know. I really haven't decided, but overall, I was okay with this one. I didn't think it didn't really like kind of knock me over, but it was somewhere in the middle. Now you go, Steve. What did you think about Breathing?
Well, I think that they added like an acoustic guitar line at the very beginning, like before the song, and how the violin kicks the song off, which I think that's new. I think that was cool. This song has always been a favorite of mine. Like, when the record comes out and the only one single has been out or two singles have been out, and you find songs where you're like, oh man, that one's one of mine. This was always one of mine. In this version, I felt like the drums really stuck out, and these little short violin hits. Doing air violin doesn't really look like a attractive hand movement, so forgive me. But these short violin hits that go right before the chorus, great. I always loved Sean's violin in this chorus. This is one of those songs where you listen to it and you say no other band could pull this off. And Bernie, you mentioned the bridge in Way Away. I'm going to talk about bridges all night long. I absolutely love the bridge in this song. How am I supposed to feel about the things I've done? That whole, it's the bridges are just great. And then the way that it ends with that final violin and drum hit, and it's fantastic. I thought the acoustic version was very, very enjoyable. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, he was good. Again, it's a good song of baseline. Again, a fan fave of not a single release, but identify a song that you would like. And yeah, I agree with that. This is it. Um, could they have been a little bit more creative? Probably, but they didn't. I think again, like Chris was saying, they played it safe previously with another song, and I think it's a solid continuation from song one leading into this. And agreed, the end of the bridge pre-chorus definitely the nicest part of the song. When the drums drop out, I really liked that. It kind of set the tone for some of the things they were doing later on in the album. So once I saw that they were starting to do a little bit more creative stuff in this track, I knew that they were going to probably start doing a little bit more of that in later tracks.
All right. Well, we're at the big one here, Ocean Avenue. I don't think I've started one, so I'll kick this one off. I'll say that the best version of this song I've ever heard is when so after Yellowcard broke up, a bunch of Yellowcard fans in Philadelphia got together, made a Facebook group, and paid Ryan Key to come in and just do an acoustic set. And we all voted on with Facebook votes or whatever. We took every album and everybody voted their top 3 songs, and all of the winners, he played every single one of them. And then he closed out with Ocean Avenue. And the hit for the band that you love, usually the hit is not the one that you love the most, right? All the Small Things we've said is not our favorite Blink song. Ocean Avenue is not my favorite Yellowcard song, even though I do really like it. But when he played it just by himself, solo acoustic, it was amazing. This version here, it's a nice acoustic track. It makes the song seem a little lighter, a little kitschier. It's got this acoustic guitar kind of behind the staying up all night. I think I might have even slowed the chorus down a little bit. It could have been a little more folksy and different. Once again, the bridge of the song is my absolutely favorite part, and the acoustic version is just as good. I remember the look in your eyes. I told you this was goodbye. Love that part. Although I will say, Bernie, were the drums it seemed like those chugging drums right before that bridge were like a beat off. Like he missed a note. I did say beat off.
Either I don't know if he missed a note versus you can hear it more that he is offbeat. Rudimentally, he's not at the same tier as Travis Barker, but he is rudimentally so sound that if a beat sounds off, it's likely a rudiment, like a basic rudiment in percussion that many people may not understand. So I heard it, but at the same time, I gave him the benefit of the doubt. It's just he's so rudimentally sound, and I think that part of it was meant to be, honestly. Agreed with the bridge. I think that this is another good bridge here. They did something a little bit different with the drums, like you said. It wasn't as overwhelming.
They beat off.
I think that, yeah, exactly. So I think it was a little bit better arrangement versus the first 2 tracks and what they were trying to accomplish, kind of progressing along. And then you can really tell how far Ryan had come with his vocal abilities in this song, especially in the choruses, where you could definitely hear him belt out some notes differently than he did on the original song.
Well, he told us he didn't know how to sing until until Lights and Sounds, and then he took vocal lessons, and he had problems with his vocal cords, and he rehabbed. So this is peak.
Yep.
Chris, you can stop smirking and speak now.
It's always something when the
when the drummer beats off.
It's always something when the titular track beats off like that. It's something else.
That's right. We're a comedy podcast. Thank you, folks.
Yeah, I don't think I could do this. I can't do it.
You're done.
I don't know. Look, I don't know if there's much more to say. This one was pretty straightforward to me. It was really just, for me, it was cool to hear this one done in an acoustic fashion. I would have loved to have heard this live this way. I think they did play this. They played everything acoustic because there was no freaking power, at the 4 chords. So I'd have loved to hear it acoustic, but unfortunately I didn't. So I think that even though it's acoustic, it is the song Ocean Avenue. It does give it a different feeling. but because it didn't stray too far, I don't know. Maybe I would have wanted them to do something just maybe a little bit more different, just to take this in a little bit different of a direction, just because it's Ocean Avenue. Like I feel like even though I said on the last album spot, the one we just talked about with Story of the Year, that I always get afraid about the iconic songs and what they do with them, and afraid that they could definitely mess it up with too much tampering. But I don't know. I feel like they could have tampered maybe just a little bit more with this one. I'd like to see what they could do. I had faith in the guys that they'd come up with something good.
I have good news for you. My daughter's favorite Yellowcard song is Ocean Avenue remixed with Steve Aoki. So there is a techno version of Ocean Avenue, and it is good. You can listen to it. So if you want to hear...
Is it canon? Is that canon, or is that just like something somebody did?
No. They did it with Steve Aoki. Steve Aoki remixed Ocean Avenue.
That's actual Yellowcard canon, right?
What does canon mean? Canon?
You don't know what that means?
It's on Yellowcard's Spotify. If that's it's their thing.
It's legit.
That it's canon.
It's canon.
Yeah, Bernie knows what I'm talking about.
It's legit.
It's legit. So if you want that totally different version, you rock that out. But it has to be very loud, very loud.
We'll see.
And the beat will drop, but you don't know when it's going to drop.
Can they drop a beat on Empty Apartment?
I would love to hear something like that. Yes.
They definitely didn't.
They
not here.
Took a step down.
All right. Who's going to start this one?
B Dizzle.
I could start it because there's no drums, right? This is the first song that they went full no drums, full acoustic. And Ryan brought it down an octave, I believe. And absolutely, I listened to it several times to even try to feel like I heard a backup vocal, and I don't think I did. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he went straight up solo vocalist on this song. No backups, no drums. I think it was well done. I think that you got to hear a side of Ryan that you really haven't heard before when it comes to his vocals. And I think they took a risk with a very popular song, and I think they nailed it. I think they did a very good job with this song. It is probably one of my favorite tracks on the album, Reimagined album. And I think they did a great job.
Yeah. I mean, so we go from basically an acoustic ballad to acoustic ballad. The vocals, I'm surprised you didn't mention it. The vocals are like an entire octave lower. So it's very cool that this one is significantly different. It makes the song sound sadder, like much sadder. The original song has high notes. There are no high notes sung. It's probably on purpose. Like they want you to, he's in his room alone, sad, strumming his guitar, doing this. And that's the vibe that I get. There's a little guitar solo that's not in the original right before verse 2. There are parts where we hear the violin that either we didn't hear it before or it wasn't there. And I mean, bridge. Great bridges on this album. It's okay to be angry and never let go. It only gets harder the more that you know. I should keep going. No, I shouldn't keep going. Yeah, this one was different and it was very good.
This one puts you in a mood, doesn't it? Or maybe you already have to be in a mood to listen to this one.
I'd say if you're in a certain mood, putting this on is the music for it. Sure.
Does it make you feel better or make you feel worse? Or does it make you feel better by making you feel worse?
If I'm in a bad mood, sometimes I want to listen to music that lets me drown in my bad mood. Like there's music that will help pick me out of it and music that I just want lets me be in it. And I would think that this would kind of be one of those to keep me in it.
Like break stuff.
The song's peak emo right here.
Yeah. So I'm with you guys. I wrote down, definitely made a decision to take this one down a few notches. So there you go. It gives me that singer songwriter vibe, with the guy with Ryan like in front of a black and white background with a guitar and a fire behind him, like just singing. So really, it's in a rug of some kind that he's sitting on.
A rug, yeah. I mean, they do. There are times during their live shows where he just will do a couple songs acoustic, and this is one of them. I don't know if they bring a rug out specifically for him. It's usually just like him on a stool, but I like that sentiment.
You like the rug?
Yeah, I think that would definitely add to the ambiance.
You know what I really like too, and I don't know if you ever. Well, I'm sure you've seen it, but maybe I haven't seen it recently. When bands do a song that is generally electric, but they started acoustic, and then like midway through, they bring out the electric guitars and like just blast the wherever it is that they're at. Like I love that effect. You ever see that?
Yes, I couldn't cite something specific, but
Yeah.
I have seen it, and I do also love it very much.
I feel like Brand New has done this in the past.
Well, that's opening up an old wound too because I missed that show as well. So
So did I.
Man,
That was a year ago, dude. We can move on from that wound.
Well, I had a Band-Aid on it, and you just tore it off.
Just wants to fester.
This
That's why he's
this
listening.
is
to
a great song to pull a Band-Aid off to.
You're right. So, look, I think you guys said most of it. It's super emotional and it fits the vibe. You know, that's what acoustic does, don't they? Acoustic songs, brings out that emotion, brings out that mood. And I really feel like I should be listening to this song in the rain. I feel like if I was in the rain, I would feel this song even more. So next time it rains, I'm going to go outside and listen to this one.
Okay. What about Life of a Salesman? I think you're up.
I was never really a big fan of this song. Like even the original. I don't know why. And here's the dilemma in my book is I am in sales. I do travel a lot. I am a guy that's is generally I don't want to say I'm generally not at home because recently it hasn't been as rigorous, but for travel. But this one should actually hit a little bit deeper because I'm a dad of a son and I'm a salesman and I'm away, and you think about those things. But I can't get into this melody. And, even with the acoustic spin on it, I listened to this one probably more than any other songs on this album in preparation for this show over and over again, trying to figure out, like, am I missing something? And I couldn't do it. So, some songs you just don't connect with from a musical standpoint. But, I definitely understand, like, the lyrics and the sentiment and that you talk about, like emotional, like that does pull some emotions in that way. But I don't know, it wouldn't be a song that I would definitely listen to. I'd pick out and want to listen to because of the music.
Yeah, I always really liked this song. When the album came out, I guess it kind of makes me think of like maybe Sure Shot. Like that would be my comparison to One for the Kids. And listen, there's a lot of like Get the Fuck Out of My Hometown and like Fuck Your Parents type pop punk songs. And it's kind of refreshing. It's nice to hear an appreciative one, especially now since we're all parents. And it's nice to hear that maybe sometimes the kids appreciated all that you went through and all that you did. So I like the sentiment. I did also like the music. I think the acoustic strumming at the beginning makes this one fun and noticeably different. I think the pace and the vibe of the song is pretty much perfectly preserved from the original. In the chorus, I felt like they added some harmonies. They also changed the guitar solo, switched to kind of a violin solo. So I mean, I'm not 100% sure on that, but I think that's what happened. And then the crisscross lyrics, he's doing "Father, I was always be, wanna be a good dad, did the best you could, Dad." In the background, they've always been muted in the original version. I feel like they're actually a little more cleaner and more effective in this version. So I was a fan of what they did here, and I'm a big fan of the song. I think I remember I made a CD for my dad. I was trying to be like a good boy. I made him like a CDR that just had this song on, and he's like, "What is this stupid shit?" And I'm like, "Okay."
Not into it?
I think he appreciated it in some way.
Yeah. Did he listen to it?
He definitely at least listened to it once.
You mentioned something. You should, let's see. Crisscross not having anything today. As we stand there totally crossed out, we commence to make you jump. The Mac Dad'll make you jump. You said crisscross lyrics, and that made me think of the fact that I'm the Mac and I'm bad. I give it to you something that you never had. I'll make you bump, hump, wiggle, and shake your rump. because I'll be kicking the flavor that makes you want to jump. Did you know those lyrics for this song?
That's a soundbite. We're gonna cut that and we're gonna put that as a promo for the show, and we're gonna get so many more listeners.
And everything to the back with a little slack, because inside out is wiggity wiggity wiggity. I can't do it.
I almost you messed it up at the best part.
That's hard to do.
Bernie, Life of a Salesman.
Acoustic. The Salesman, yeah, acoustic. So, if Yellowcard and Mumford & Sons kind of had a baby, I think that this is probably the outcome of that. Mm-hmm. I feel like from the drummer standpoint, there was a lot more like bass hits on beat as opposed to the original. I thought that there was, again, like Steve said, a lot more violin. So there was a lot more twang to it. So I like that they switched it up a little bit to a song that I, along with Chris, I'm not a huge fan of, just from a arrangement, melody standpoint. Lots of dads in the lyrics. It just gets a little distracting at times. It's just someone who doesn't really listen to lyrics first. That's what stands out to me in the way that I listen to music. So I thought the last 30 seconds of the song were the best part of the song. I thought the ending, the last 30 seconds, again, the breakdown, I thought was the best part. I wish the drums were that way more throughout the rest of the track. But I thought they did, dare I say, it might be a better track in this arrangement than the original. So I'll throw that out there.
Cool. All right.
Bold.
You guys don't like the song. You don't like your dads. You don't like being dads. You don't like your kids. I understand.
I am a dad. I said I like the dad part.
Just kidding.
Yeah.
Just kidding. All right. So we'll move on to only one. I think that's my, I got the 3 and 6. I got the big ones here.
You got the big one.
Where I'll start first. So I don't have a whole lot to say about this rendition. They didn't drop the octave or anything. This song acoustically is almost identical to the original in the vocals, in the pacing. In terms of the chorus, it's not quite as big as the original because the chorus of this song, the original version, is gigantic. And this song is freaking fantastic. But even acoustic, even though it's not as big, it's still big. I feel like overall, this is just a pretty acoustic rendition. I liked it. Nothing too much more to say. Chris?
It's hard for me to gauge this one because it's one of my all-time favorite Yellowcard songs. So if I sit here and say that they didn't really do very much with this one acoustically, and that's a bad thing, I don't think that's the right thing to say, because I don't know. It's like, I'm cool. He still belts out that chorus. I completely understand what you're saying about it's not as big because it doesn't have everything behind it. It doesn't have all the stuff behind just that
drums,
super rush of everything at you at one time when he says, "Here I go." But he still belts it out. So, I mean, there's still an effort to do that. It's still that amazing melody that I love in this song. And it's, it's okay. It's okay. Like if I'm going to gauge it on, did they do something different to make it more unique? And hey, I really like this acoustic version. I would probably say no, like it's a 6, it's a 6.5, but
6, 7.
If I'm gauging it on, I didn't say 7. If I'm gauging it on just the fact that, it's only one, it's a 9.5. Like that's how much I like the song. So I'm not sure which way I want to go. Like, I don't know what's fair to do here, but that's my analysis. So
this is either going to be number 1 on your ranking it or nowhere. It's going to be number 12.
Somewhere in the middle. Yeah.
Bernie, what do you think?
So I thought this was basically a cleaner version of the original. Not much of a change in the arrangement. The bridge is probably one of my favorite bridges out of any Yellowcard song in the entire collection of albums. So it's big. It's like huge, and it's Yellowcard. Like the violin is just so defining for this track. So again, not much of a change in the arrangement, but I think vocally you really could hear again the difference in how far Ryan has come along in his vocal ability. So I feel like vocally this was superior to the original just from that standpoint. But overall, it's a solid track, cleaner version. Lyrics sounded incredible.
All right. Well,
I mean, would you guys think like which direction would you have taken the song if you were going to take it? If you were going to depart from what it is, like what would you have done slower? Would you have tried to do something a little bit more like what they did in Empty Apartment? Would that have worked
techno.
here?
I probably would have added some more strings. I probably would have made it more orchestra, and maybe potentially would have dropped a little bit of the percussion. But I think overall, I thought it was a good arrangement. But I probably would have made the orchestral background a little bit more powerful,
A little bit more rich. Yes.
Exactly.
I got
Robust.
one word for you. Piano. They could have made it totally different if they made this like a piano ballad.
I'd be into that too.
Yeah. That would be something I would be very interested to hear.
They do that some other place.
We were going to get there, yeah.
We'll get there.
But you can't have both. You wanted them to drop a beat, so now they're going to drop a beat on this one too.
I want both. I want the remix.
You want piano with a beat dropped?
No, I want both separate versions, and then I want a version with Jay-Z where it's mixed with one of his songs
with the beat drop.
I'm just asking for a lot.
I guess.
All right, so we're up to miles apart. Bernie, I think it's your time to start here.
This is almost borderline a skip track for me in general. I'm not like a huge fan of this track. I will say that this was another one of those where, dare I say, I like the acoustic version way better. So I think it's a good song. It's a song that I'd probably get up and get myself another drink and then come back for the rest of the set if I'm watching them live and they play this. So yeah, I think
they wouldn't play this live.
Exactly. I think they did a better job with this than the original track. That's basically it for me.
Why do you laugh when you say that? Like, Steve, you said they won't play this live and you laughed. Is that because they did, or? No,
I honestly think that they wouldn't play it live unless it was an Ocean Avenue reunion tour. What do you call it? Celebration tour or something. I don't think this would ever. Why? I don't think this would ever just make it into the set list.
Okay.
I mean, if you just look at their, they have so many albums. This song's not getting in there.
Well, why don't you go next?
Oh, me. Yeah. So I 100% agree. This always seemed like a bit of an album track to me. I don't think I'd skip it, but very interesting. They left the kind of electronic background notes in there. So when you think about acoustic, I would have thought that maybe they would have dropped those out too, but they kept those in there. And listen, this song to me was really, really close to the original. I feel like there was nothing lost, nothing gained. It was a perfectly fine acoustic version of Miles Apart.
Yeah, I thought the violin seemed a little bit more pronounced in this one, but I didn't listen to them back to back, so that may or may not be the case. I the only thing I could pick out here that's positive is I thought the acoustic intro was good because it had a bunch of layers. Like there was just a bunch of different instruments playing that I thought worked well together. Kind of brought me into the song, but you guys are right. This is just fine, I guess. My note is I'm fine with this, I guess. Not really a favorite. So
okay, I think we're all pretty much on the same page then.
23. Who's got this one?
That's your age. You go.
Yeah.
Nobody likes you when you're this age.
No. And I remember singing that song before I was 23, and then I was finally 23, and now I'm not. But where are we at with this one? So it looks like they slowed the tempo here too. Definitely. I thought they added more violin. They gave him some vocal effects versus the original. So all of those things I thought were a little bit different. They definitely took the edge off the chorus, much more of a mellow chorus here versus the original. But I'll tell you what, this is a track on the original Ocean Avenue that I was never super into, but I might like this arrangement better. Like I thought this sounded great. And it really, I think it really just added to the song. So I don't know. I like 23 acoustic more than I like the original version.
Bernie, what'd you think?
This is a Sean song, right? He's lead vocalist.
Is he?
I think this is he is. I think this is Yellowcard trivia for you. This is, I believe, the only song that he is the feature lead vocalist on. And if you YouTube video it, you'll see a very young Sean singing and belting out the verses to this song. Ryan does the choruses, but this is a Sean song. And I think the most remarkable thing is that when they recorded this, this was shortly after he was diagnosed and had surgery for thyroid cancer. So not only was this re-recorded, but it was re-recorded after he went through a major surgery around his like vocal cords area, right? So I thought it was incredible that that he was able to even sing this to re-record it in the studio, and just a really, really good version of the song. I agree. I think this song acoustically sounds better, and just knowing that he's the one singing it. And he was able to do it after going through that treatment. It's just inspirational for me, just with that background. But again, it's probably one of the better songs on the album for the acoustic, but maybe not as much on the regular album. But I thought just the background story was pretty cool.
Well, now I feel bad for what I'm going to say because, my main problem with this one is the vocals. So, and now knowing that, I guess I get it, but I agree with you, Chris. I feel like it is slowed down just slightly. I thought it might just be me, but you said it first. And the thing about the vocals here is that they sound like they are produced or auto-tuned. They are very strange, and I don't like it. I definitely don't like it better than the original. I think that they used a cello instead of the bass, and there are parts where it in some ways the song kind of has like a techno almost feel to it. We have some falsettos, like high pitched on you. I mean, it's definitely different, but I didn't particularly like the take on it. Right. Agreed all around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody else over there didn't like it either.
I took my cat to the vet to ask about his aggressive meowing today, just so you're aware.
And
I consulted Dr. Stewie, but he's an older cat. Sometimes they do it for attention. Nothing appears to be wrong with him, so nobody worry. But they did some blood tests just to double check, make sure everything's okay. But he's fine for now.
He just likes to talk.
He likes attention. That's true. Okay. View from Heaven. I think this one's me.
Yeah.
All right. I will say this was always my least favorite song on this entire album. Listen, don't get me wrong. It is a beautiful sentiment. He wrote this about the death of a close friend who died at 18 years old. I have no problem with the sentiment of the song. I just thought it always sounded like a country song. I thought it sounded like Yellowcard country. And I mean, this version does too. It's very folksy. I'm pretty sure that's a banjo. If it's not a banjo, it sounds like a banjo.
It's a banjo.
It's a banjo. Okay. I do think that Ryan's vocals had a little bit more pep in the delivery when you compare it to the original. And I will say that the one thing that really like punched me in the face that I forgot and I wasn't expecting was the female vocal. The female vocal was in the original, right? It was,
yes, yeah. It was.
But I kind of forgot about it. The vocalist who does it here, her name is Tiffany Villarreal. And I also liked where he does this one spoken word. He does it down here. Like it's not sung. He just spoken words it. So there are two highlights to a song that I normally don't particularly like. It's still folksy.
What did you think, Bernie?
I love this version of this song, and I can't stand it on the original album. It actually fits an acoustic album, right? The lyrics are so much better. And the female bacchus at the end, like just it fits. Everything fits well. It's like they looked at this song, they knew it didn't fit Ocean Avenue, and they tried to rearrange it in a way that fit this album. They leaned into this.
Love the freaking Andy banjo. Bernard this up.
Shoot, this thing has twang. It's got a banjo. Like I was all in on this song. It just sounds, the arrangement just sounds so much better than the first one, and it fits the album. So I thought they did a remarkable job in reimagining a track for once on this thing. And I approve. I like this song.
I'll make it quick. I was not a fan of the original song either. I feel like I had the opportunity to say that on the show, and even though we didn't talk about this album, so I don't know where I would have done that. But
we did like a full Yellowcard band show, and so we may have focused in on some things.
Maybe I do agree though. You guys took this one, and I agree. I think the acoustic makes this song better than it originally was. Like, I think I would, if I'm gonna listen to one of the two, it's gonna be this one. But even this one, it just sounds too country western. And then that banjo, it's either way. Like I'm just not my thing. I mean, I'm with the sentiment too, but musically, I just you can't like everything, and this isn't one of the things I like.
It reminds me of in The Office when Andy Bernard and Dwight, they're dueling, right? Dwight's playing the guitar and Andy's playing the banjo, and they're doing Country Roads, and they're trying to impress somebody. Maybe it was Aaron or somebody. And then eventually they come together. Like Andy just starts with the banjo, and then they come together and they start singing together. So that's what I'm reminded of.
And then it like gets too loud and they get yelled at.
Whoever the woman was, again, I think it was Erin. I think she ends up leaving, and they just sit there and jam out themselves. They bro out.
Isn't that where Idris Elba is in The Office, and he like knocks on the window and tells him to quit? Or
it's possible. I mean,
mixing things up.
That was about that time.
Okay. Inside Out. Who's got this one?
Bernie.
Yeah, I thought they played it safe on this one. I don't think they changed much. The Two of Us bridge, always the best part of the song, I think, just from a melody and arrangement standpoint. I thought it was good. I don't think they really blew my socks off from a rearrangement standpoint, but I thought that it sounded good.
Steve?
Yeah, I mean, this is a pretty good album track that doesn't get a whole lot of love. I thought in this version of it, the percussion stood out a lot. The cymbals seemed very distinct, and I thought that the violin in the chorus was also like a standout part of it. So I enjoyed it. It's a good reimagining.
I think this song's great. Look, I think this one comes down to the fact that, do you like Inside Out? Like, do you like this song? Because you're not really that much different on this one versus the original. So if you like this one, which I do, I think this is a great track. The Over Now falling out part at the end, it's one of my favorite pieces, is where he talks about like the end of the relationship and the music cuts away. It's a cool effect. I like that a lot. I don't know if it's in the original or just this one, but I like that. And I'm a fan of the chorus. I think the melody is great here. One of my favorite songs on the album, and this one probably is one of my more let's say enjoyed versions of a song off of Ocean Avenue. So I was in for this one.
Let me ask you guys both a song construction, definition type question. So when we think about the bridge, right? The bridge here is right. The two of us, we dream like one. The two of us, that whole part. But then it slows down and he goes into, I guess this is over now. I guess it's called the falling out. Every day I'm learning how to make this through this life I'm in. Is that last part also part of the bridge, or is that something else?
I feel like it's more of a pre-chorus.
Okay.
I don't know.
But could you have a pre-chorus that's only done once at the end of the song? Is there something called a post-bridge?
I mean, you can have a post-bridge or a pre-chorus.
Okay,
Post-hardcore.
We can move on from this conversation. I was just curious.
I like that they have like a totally different part of the song. It makes you wonder if it was not meant to be part of it and then they included it later on, right?
Yeah,
so
throw it in.
When you have, just throw it in there, right? There's plenty of songs where they reverse the endings where they were first choruses and they become like a pre-ending / post-bridge. So I think that's where you might find this. It just was too good to leave out, but they couldn't find a good spot to put it.
I mean, they put it in a great spot. I'm just curious.
It was a great spot.
I'm just curious what it's called.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
An interlude.
Maybe ask Ryan, just text Ryan Key real quick.
Yeah, just text Ryan. Yeah.
Okay, hang on. Let me just. Hey, Ryan. What is this part of the song?
He would tell you. He'd be happy to.
He told me to leave him alone.
Do I finally get a big one here? Is this me?
This is you.
Believe this is an enormous track with a ton of gravity to it. What an amazing track this is off of the original album. You talk about something with all the feels. This one has it, and it's first of all, like, I think it's the exact same violin that starts
Copy
the
paste.
original. I feel like it sounds exactly the same. So they wanted you to feel the same that you did at the beginning of Believe on the original that you did here. It does then break into some acoustics from there. That definitely gives it a different feel, but a different feel in a samey way, if that makes any sense. It's done well acoustic, because this is a song again with just a ton of emotion. It's, obviously about, 9/11, and there's a lot of feelings tied to that for sure. And you know slowing I don't want to say slowing it down, but just stripping it down. It gives it a different feel, and it's a good feel, and I would listen to this version for sure. Do I think this replaces the original? No. I think the original is definitely the better version, but I definitely wouldn't think the acoustic is too many steps down. So that's where I'm at on Believe.
Yeah, I'll mirror some of your sentiments. I mean, the violin intro is identical, and it's so iconic. The violin in this song is just the way it starts. Oh man. And overall, this is just a phenomenal song. It was a great statement in the wake of 9/11, but you know what? If you listen to this song and you don't know that, you could probably just like apply this to other things in life too. Everything is going to be all right. Be strong, believe. When you know what it's about, it becomes more powerful. I feel like they added some kind of subtle like harmony tones in the back of the chorus, which is, everything is going to be all right. Be strong, believe, just kind of repeated. They do remove the whole like radio broadcast thing in this, which I think definitely fits. That might have been weird in the acoustic version. And man, God, I'm a broken record. Talk about a fucking great bridge. Want to hold my wife when I get home. The whole part, it's just that makes this song for me. And they added some additional strings and some harmonies into this version, and it worked out great. And man, the back and forth in the end, think about the love inside, the strength of heart. Everything is gonna be when they're going back and forth. They worked it just perfectly into this version. So this was a really good acoustic version. Chris, I agree with you. I think that the original, if you have to put them up against each other, the original's not going to lose, but this is a really good version.
The original definitely won't lose. Man. So I didn't know how to take this song, again, because of the whole 9/11 thing. Steve and I went to Penn State together and roomed together our freshman year. And our trip to get to Penn State was the last time we saw the towers.
And we went back 1 week after when we went back to New York like the week after, and there was still smoke coming out. I remember going over the GW Bridge.
Yep. So this hits, right? This hits pretty hard. Hits close to home. My family lost friends, firefighters, etc. So yeah, I mean it hits, right? Imagine, and just say, imagine if they dropped all the percussion and not necessarily a piano ballad, but just added even more strings or more feeling or emotion to this. And that's how I was listening to it. I'm like, man, like, what if they added like timpani and chimes and like some other like just big like like just a different type of production. I thought it was solid. Again, like I think it was different, like you said. I think it was solid. I liked the original better, but there was a lot of what ifs for me. Like, what if they made it more emotional, right? What if they made some of the parts bigger in various sounds? And I don't know why it ended with a big crush on the snare at the end. Maybe that's symbolic for the towers coming down. But I feel like there was just more potential there that could have been happened or realized if just they went and banked on some of these what ifs for me.
All right. So it sounds like you still liked it though.
Yeah, love it. Great track. One of my
Can't not
top
like it.
favorite tracks. Yeah.
All right. Well, we're getting towards the end here. We got two more. The next one is 1 year, 6 months. I'll kick this one off, and this one is very different with the addition and the complete focus on the piano. And this is great. I love. I mentioned earlier that it would be cool to add in piano. I feel like it works really well, especially behind the chorus. You know, going along with Ryan's like layered vocals and his falsetto. I probably like this version more than the original. I think this is an absolute great rearrangement for sure.
Go ahead, Bernie.
Love the rearrangement. Falling into memories of you, the things we used to do. It just hits, right? It's a nostalgia track, right? You know, depending on what core memories you align with this track. Love the piano arrangement. Love it. And then when the violin comes in verse 2, like chills, right? Like I actually turned the volume up at that point in the song in my car as I was listening to it. It was like a holy crap moment. So I really love this arrangement. I really enjoy what they did. I think that if you're looking at ways to rearrange some of these songs, they freaking nailed this one.
Mm-hmm.
So I loved it. And I know we're going to rank songs later on, but they did a very good job with this.
I can't agree more. I think that if we're thinking about an acoustic album and giving you a different experience, and I have to learn to talk into the mic, Wingman Steve.
I hear you.
Apparently I don't. I just want to be a good podcaster. That's all.
You're doing great.
That's all I want to do. That's all I want to do.
5 stars.
But they took this in a direction that was perfect. I think that it just took it and it was the same song in a lot of ways. So it didn't break the spirit of what 1 year, 6 months is, but it gave you a different experience. And I love that so much. And the piano was the reason for that. So with you all the way. They went Piano Man on this one, Steve. And by the way, we still haven't done our Billy Joel episode where we rank all of the Billy Joel albums. So one of these days,
we'll figure it out.
He's a Jersey guy, right? He's a Jersey guy.
No, he's a Long Island guy.
Isn't that the same thing?
No, quite different.
Oh my God. That's so cringe.
So cringe.
It's all the same to me. I don't know. What am I going to, I mean, Yin's guys out there, I don't know what you're doing. So
Billy Joel, Long Island, for sure. All
right.
Way.
But, not to break the camaraderie between us on this one. It's a beautiful arrangement. It is basically the same song, but man, that just makes it so much better. And yeah, I like, this is a mellow song anyway, but so it didn't really take away from that. But I really, really love what they did here. So big fan.
All right, Chris, bring us home. Bring us back home.
Bring us back home. This song is right at home here with what they did. I think this. I'm good with both versions. I think that they're so close in nature that I'm not even sure that I can really do much analysis on it. Other than I'll probably defer to you guys in terms of maybe like specifics that you heard with the drums or any of the other instruments, but ultimately I felt it was very similar in nature. I didn't hear anything that was too much different. I guess the electric guitars obviously, but do they even use electric guitar on the original one? Maybe
they do. Yeah,
maybe maybe
it's a
that
slower pace song, but it's electric.
You take that away and it takes the edge off of it. So maybe that's what I really latched on to when listening to this one. But Back Home for me, it was a nice way to kind of end in the album, but there's much better songs on Ocean Avenue, and I think there's much better acoustic covers on this album. So I'm kind of in the middle on this one.
Barney?
So Back Home is a very like personal song for me. Just the dark Atlantic skies, Long Island, right? Not Jacksonville, Florida, but eventually it was Jacksonville, Florida for me. And then California IA was Pennsylvania IA for us. So there were a lot of core things happening in the background when Ocean Avenue first came out, and the year after that. As well as when this acoustic album came out in the year after that. So this specific track hits a lot of the feels for me personally. And then I'm a drummer. And yes, Chris, like you were saying, this is the best rearrangement for the drums. He uses brushes. There you have it.
Couldn't hear him.
He brought out the brushes.
Very nice.
So he really showed his versatility as a percussionist in this song. Bringing out the brushes, laying down a beat, and just overall, I thought it was a very good rearrangement of a song that personally means a lot to me.
Yeah, same. The song does mean a lot to me too, and it's one of my top Ocean Avenue tracks from the original. I also love songs about California. I love the whole sentiment about it. It's beautiful and sunny in California, but maybe it's kind of eating you alive. I guess, during Lights and Sounds, they get into that a little bit further, but it doesn't sound, that's not what you get out of it when you're listening to it. This reimagining of it seems just a little, like a tick slower than the original, but I thought that the chorus came together really fantastic. I can't tell if it's like a piano or a stand-up bass or a cello or something really helps that chorus stand out. Compare or make it a little different than it was before, and the violin in the bridge is just bonkers. It is bonkers. It's crazy, and they add an extended pause before the final chorus. Right, put it all behind me, and I'll be just fine. And it seemed like the pause before they come back and say another sunny day beneath this cloudless sky. I don't know that the song does hit me with the feels as you said it. And I really enjoyed this version a whole lot. And I feel like this is, man, in terms of like final songs on albums, this is up there with the best of them for sure.
It always leaves you wanting more. Original track as well as this one. Like and you just want more.
And back in the day when you're listening to regular Ocean Avenue and you're listening on a CD and then it goes from this back into Way Away, it's great.
It hits. It hits.
You're right back in.
What if you're listening to it on a record and you fall asleep and then you wake up and it's going
I think that hits less.
I think that hurts the eye. I did that one time and I was so afraid I destroyed the record player.
Well, you're still learning on your vinyl journey.
I guess I'm the only wet blanket on that one, guys.
That's okay. If it didn't hit you where it hit you, that's okay.
Have you ever used a wet blanket before?
I used a blanket to clean up water that spilled in the back of my car, but
did you put that on top of you afterwards?
That would be uncomfortable.
Yeah. So is this conversation now that you guys love this and had like special feelings for it, and I said it was just okay and probably one of my least favorite.
Hey, that's all good. Mm-hmm. I think we all enjoy Ocean Avenue, and we all enjoyed this acoustic version, it sounds like.
Well, I think the next thing is about what we really enjoyed, and that's where we ranking it. So, guys, let's rank our top 3 favorite songs off the album in order, 3, 2, 1. And, hey, you can decide on how you want to rank these, whether it's just, hey, there's songs you love, and you don't care whether they're acoustic or not. You just really love the song. Or you could take it back to maybe a little bit more of a technical side of things, where it's, well, this was a much better acoustic version of the song, and it brought it up 10 notches, so it's definitely number 1. You be the judge, not me. And as we always do, let's start with our guests. So, Bernie, take it away.
So do you think I'm going to be technical, or do you think I'm going to go by
I absolutely think you're going to be technical.
I think it's going to be a mix. It's going to be a mix of both. It has to be, doesn't it?
All right. So it's going to be a mix. And Steve, I sent you a video of them playing Empty Apartment at the acoustic show that I was able to take part in, which was, again, an incredible experience. That was my number 3. I liked that they switched it up. I like that there were no drums. I think it was different. I think Ryan was very vulnerable, and you got to see a different side of the band. So I thought that it was very well done. My number 3 track on this. Back Home is my number 2. Again, it hits a lot of the feels. It's a core memory song for me. I thought it was the best drum arrangement. So that's going to be my number 2. And then my number 1 is going to be the complete revolution of the song. Is going to be 1 Year, 6 Months. I love the piano arrangement. I love that they switched it up. I got chills. It's the only track that I turned the volume up in the middle of. So that, for me, that's my number 1 for this specific album.
Like it. Okay, Steve, I'll go next if you wanna be the ultimate voice here on this. And I'm gonna go Empty Apartment number 3 for all of the reasons that Bernie just gave us. I really like the decision they made on this one to take it down. I think it attributed well to the song. It gave you that great emotional vibe, and I'm definitely going to listen to this one in the rain with a blanket. So I'll let you know how that goes. Number 2 is 1 Year, 6 Months. It's a great song. They went Piano Man on this one, and I loved it. I loved every second of it. So great choice there, and it was a departure. So it had to be in my top 3. But number 1, it's not a departure. And I just can't not put only one at number 1. I have to. It's one of my all-time favorite, not my all-time number 1 favorite, but it's one of my all-time favorite Yellowcard songs. And the fact that I can get it, even if it's just slightly different, in a little bit different of a way, I'm cool with that. And I'll listen to it over and over again. So there's my top 3. Steve?
Okay. Just like both of you guys, at number 3, I had Empty Apartment because I like that reimagining. Number 2, neither of you guys had this on your list, but I had Believe. I think that acoustic track was really good. And number 1 for me is going to be Back Home. That might span across the regular album and the acoustic album. But I will say that if I was doing the ranking it for the regular album, it would not be exactly the same as this. No way. Maybe some similarity, but not exactly the same. But we all had Empty Apartment, and 2 of 3 of us had 1 Year, 6 Months. It was hard for me to exclude that one, and 2 of 3 of us had Back Home. So this was a good exercise. This was fun, guys.
We had a lot more to say about this than I knew that last week, going into Page Avenue, we'd have a lot to say because it was so different. But this one isn't. But I guess when you really deep down look at it and kind of peel some stuff back, like, I guess there is a lot to talk about. I guess it is different. And I guess there is a lot of maybe different, you experience things a little bit differently when you do change things, even if it's slightly. So I am glad that we listened to this. I did not know this was an album. I didn't know that. Did you guys buy this in 2013? Was this an album you could buy?
I'm pretty sure that I bought it like digitally, like iTunes. Same way I did with the Story of the Year one.
Same.
Oh, got it. So you were not buying CDs in 2013?
I don't think so, no.
I don't think I was either.
Oh. Ben was iTunes. This was like pre-Spotify.
Yeah, I guess you're right. It had to be iTunes. And I refused to do that. So I guess I just didn't listen to anything. Maybe that's why I didn't hear this. Because I would not buy stuff off of iTunes for some reason. Like, it was either CDs or nothing. So I guess that's just my problem, not yours.
I think people started like ripping into YouTube at that point. So I'm not sure if that's where I was listening to it. Or I was in residency when this came out, so I didn't have time to do shit.
No, I'm sure. All right, Steve. Well, we did it. Anything else you want to say about this album?
So I think that there's something that Bernie wants to talk about related to Yellowcard just slightly before we get finished up. But I think that we're wrapped up on the album.
Are you talking about the beer I was drinking the entire time?
No.
Okay.
I was talking about the other thing.
What's the other thing?
The brand new Yellowcard song that you're obsessed with.
Oh my goodness. So my son, Blippi and the Yellowcard is what he calls it. Repeat. And I'm pretty sure when my Unwrapped comes out at the end of this year on Spotify, it's going to be my number one. And a close number two is going to be Spidey and the Fallout Boy. Just one, because there's only one that sings the Spidey songs, Spidey and Friends. But yes, Blippi and the Yellowcard. Go, go, go.
Did you listen to that one, Chris?
I'm not following what's going on.
Okay, so do you know what Blippi is?
No.
Okay, Blippi is this somewhat cheesy dude.
Annoying. Annoying.
In like like blue and orange suspenders and glasses, and he does like somewhat educational videos for very young children. Okay. And for whatever reason, Blippi and Yellowcard collaborated on a song called Go, Go, Go. And it's essentially a little kid song.
It has every mode of transportation that my 4-year-old freaking loves in the music video. So he loves watching it. He loves listening to it. It's the first song we listen to in the car when I take him to preschool every single morning. Daddy, put on Blippi and the Yellowcard. And that's what I have to do. And then once that's done, it is time to put on Spidey with the Fallout Boy. And that is my morning and my afternoon.
Could be
every
worse.
Single day.
Could be
It
worse.
is great because he is now listening to Yellowcard and Fallout Boy. So we'll call this the gateway drug for toddlers to get into pop punk.
Chris, are you going to listen to this?
Okay, so I'm looking at a picture of this.
Okay.
And
Did you know that there are Blippi? There is more than one Blippi. I had no idea.
That guy didn't look like the Blippi that I remembered because my daughter's older than your son is. So he didn't look the same.
There's multiple Blippis.
Huh.
So
is
weird.
it Blippi?
So this is like
Blippies?
Steve. Oh, it's just like Steve from
Yeah.
Blue's Clues.
Same nonsense.
But was the other guy
shenanigans.
Steve? Was it always Steve?
Didn't that Steve get like arrested or something?
He came back for you though.
Yeah, but so Blippi's the same as Steve, but just no dog, and he kind of looks
annoying.
Similar, but not really. But there's a picture of him standing with Yellowcard, and they all have the Blippi glasses on.
So if you are watching the Instas with Yellowcard, he is collaborating with them on multiple posts with shorts, videos, and reels, and you can follow. I'm pretty sure the original Blippi is like Yellowcard super fan, and just he's loving every moment hanging out with Yellowcard right now.
And they're having a good time expanding their audience.
Good for him. I'm not going to.
This is the audience.
About it.
That's right.
This is the audience. Now it is timeless.
You are not the audience, though, are you, Bernie? You personally.
I mean, I'm not going to lie. When Ryan comes in the chorus and says "Go, go, go," like it's just it hits in the feels.
He goes.
He goes.
Look, he does a song with Grover and Abby Cadabby too. Did you know?
And
that?
he does the fist bumps with the goes too. So it's like it's one of those crowd pleasers. Dare I say, you may have a mosh pit of toddlers. I don't know.
I'm gonna go in and ask my 14-year-old daughter if she knows what Blippi is, and see what she says.
It might be past her, but possibly.
And then my son, who's also 14, I'll ask him the same question. What do you think?
It's possible. Like
I get kicked out of the room, basically. You think? Get out.
If you ask them hey, do you stop watching them when you're like 6, 7? Is that when it stops? Then they might enjoy that. Yeah.
There's the growl.
There it is.
All right. Let's wrap this up. This was super fun. I want to offer a special opportunity to everybody who's stuck with us this long. If you want to see that private Ryan Key show that I attended, I have a link that someone else recorded the entire thing on YouTube. If you send us a DM, I'll share the link with you. So thanks for sticking with us.
And if you want to hear me sing the rest of the Crisscross song, I will do that on Patreon at some point in time.
Dude, you just put that in writing, basically.
So look for that. Look for that at some point in time. But hey, guys, thanks for joining another amazing episode of High School Never Ends, a pop punk dad podcast. We are really excited about Acoustic April. More to come here, more acoustic albums to talk about. Hopefully you enjoyed the Yellowcard one. And if you didn't catch the Page Avenue episode before this, please go check that out too. We'd love to hear what you think. And I know what you're probably thinking. Where do I do that? How do I let you know what we think? Well, there's several cool ways of doing it. Number one, if you have Apple, you can give us a review. You can give us a written review if you want to talk about what you heard or what you thought. But if you don't want to do that, that's okay too. You can give us a 5-star review on Apple. It helps the show. It helps us skyrocket up the ranks of all the other pop punk dad podcasts out there in podcast land. And also don't forget about our shop. We have some really awesome stuff available. Everything from nothing Blippy related, though, I don't think.
Not yet.
Maybe we'll collab with him at some point.
The collab is on the horizon. For right now, you can get some really cool High School Never Ends branded stuff like hats and mugs, two of my favorite things of all time. Go check those out. You can see those. You can get to our shop via our hub, which is www.hsnepod.com.
Yep, and support our show via the social medias. You can find us at HSNEPod, like High School Never Ends Podcast, on Instagram and Facebook. And if you want to support the show and subscribe and get bonus content like extra episodes where we recently talked about Newfound Glory's most recent album, Listen Up, you can go to www.patreon.com/HSNEPod and join our patrons. We also have a Discord channel that is totally free. Find that at the website. Dr. Bernie, thank you so much for joining us here. It was great going down memory lane, talking about some Yellowcard, some Ocean Avenue, some acoustic, some drum feather brush things. As Chris said, we are going to be back next week with another Acoustic April episode. Until then, keep on rocking your dad bods, throw up your rock hands, and blast that pop punk acoustically.
It's Dragon Wagon.